Okay, so hi everybody. Today we have got Ross with us, and he's going to tell us a little bit about his placement. So Ross, do you want to introduce yourselves, tell us a bit about your degree and your placement from last year?
Yeah, so my name's Ross. I'm doing a geography natural hazards degree in final year, and last year I did my placement at EC Borough Council, which was looking at council-owned lands and creating a comprehensive GIS record of it, essentially.
So what would you say your job title was while you were on placement then?
Well, my job title was, so the way they structure it is case management officers. So that was my technical job title, but alongside that it was land audit and registry. It's a mouthful, but so yeah, I was basically just going through all the council's GIS records, making sure they were up to date and complete, and ones that weren't, filling them in, just making sure it was a comprehensive record so the council knew what they owned, essentially.
So thinking about that then, it's perhaps not something you would think about from a geography degree that you would go into. What did you do in maybe your first or your second year that's helped you with doing that placement particularly?
So the main reason I decided to go for it was quite GIS focused, and I did the GIS module in second year, and I enjoyed that, and I think I realised that was quite a relevant job category from geography, from a geography degree. So yeah, I just wanted to explore that and get experience of using GIS in the workplace and how it differs to what maybe is done at university, and applying what I've learned at university to the workplace.
So how different is it? Was it a lot different from what you'd learnt in your modules, or?
Well, so the role I was doing, it was using a different type of GIS software that we've used at university. So that was good to learn something new. Generally, it was a bit more basic than the sort of stuff we do at university. So it wasn't particularly challenging or much new, but just being aware of and comfortable with GIS software from university made it a lot easier.
So if you were looking back on it now, you're nearly a year after your placement now, looking back on it, what would you say perhaps is the best aspect of your placement?
I think the best thing is just getting experience in a professional working environment. So as like most people probably doing a degree, an undergraduate degree, I've not worked like in an office type environment. So just getting used to that, like generally how it all just sort of works, like meeting people, stuff like that. It's just I think that was the main thing, to be honest, that I took from it. Just generally in the professional workplace, just getting some experience. So yeah, it was really good.
Bit different to a university lecture room then.
It's all good though. It was really good.
Good. And in terms of your experience, I suppose some people might be watching this and thinking, well, why should I do a placement? Why shouldn't I do a placement? Based on your experience, how do you think, looking back now, maybe you developed personally, but also developed yourselves professionally in terms of towards future careers? What do you think could be the take-home messages by somebody that's considering maybe or maybe not doing a placement?
Yeah, so I think coming to the end of final year, I've been looking and applying at jobs, and in the specifications and stuff like that, a lot of the experience that I've taken from the placement, I can then apply. I've seen how it's useful in these job applications, and I can see that it's going to benefit me in terms of landing a grad job compared to someone that hasn't done a placement. And I think that's the main thing. So a lot of the experience and not qualifications, but just generally like the experience and stuff like that in application forms, a lot of it I can draw from my placement year, and I can see how it's really going to benefit me professionally in that regard, just landing a grad job basically.
Would you say you were more confident as well? Because obviously there's some kind of element there of having your first real job or proper job in an office, like you've said, that perhaps maybe it changes you personally, whether that's confidence or independence or anything.
I think so, because especially being at a council, it's quite it was all quite interconnected, so I was able to get involved in quite a few other projects in the environment team, which was really good for experience, but also just like confidence and stuff like that, like attending meetings and meeting different people and discussing things which I don't know, not that I don't know much about, but it's all new to me. So yeah, I would definitely say I've grown in terms of confidence and things like that as a result of it, definitely.
Brilliant. So I think, well, you touched on a few things of the fact that you went into got to go into other teams as well, which sounds really, really interesting. Anything that you can then say as a take home point, even if it is from one of those other bits of experience of, you know, looking back on it now, what do you think the best bit of your placement was?
It's hard to say because it was all really good. So because I was looking at council lands, I got to go out and about and assess the land basically. So that was quite, it sounds a bit boring, but it was nice to be able to not just be stuck at a desk the whole time, because that's not what, I don't mind it, but that's not what I would say I'm best at. I think I enjoy being flexible and getting to go out and about and stuff. So that, I think that was the thing I enjoyed the most. But also generally just like having the opportunity to work on different projects, and everyone was so supportive and helpful in terms of like understanding that they were trying to help me get experience and things like that, doing different things to see what I enjoyed. So yeah, it was, I would say that was the best thing. Yeah.
That sounds really good, because obviously one of the things that, and we you know, we've all encouraged you to get your experience throughout your degree, but one of the things of having that support from maybe to industry rather than lecturers is giving that different viewpoint as well. That's been really, really useful, and thank you for spending the time today to talk to us about your placement. Obviously, good luck with you've got a few weeks left now, so good luck with your last few weeks of your degree, and hopefully we'll see in the future that you can utilise the skills that you've learned on your placement in your future career, whatever that might be. So thank you.
That's all right, thank you.